I'd like to share a few of the things that I've learned about doing independent creative work. And I'm calling these the keys to successful independent creative work. The first is the 3 M's. And those are meaning, motivation, and manifestation. Meaning is critical, not just for self, but potentially for others. That's why we pursue things. First, it's meaningful for us. Second, we hope that it will also be meaningful for other people, whatever that creative project is. It takes an enormous amount of energy to focus on creating things that we don't have to in our daily list of tasks and duties. So the second M is motivation. We have to figure out how to motivate ourselves when we've already performed and done all of the work that we have scheduled for the day. Then where do we find the energy and the motivation to create that special thing that only we can create? And the third M is manifestation. The meaning and the motivation are really the process of manifesting that creative project, that thing that's just burning inside of us to be made, to be put out into the world. And I'm using very generic terms because it's different for each of us. Some of us want to make videos, some of us want to make books, some of us want to make mobile applications or other kinds of creative projects that take an enormous time of focus, research, and energy. Next, I'm going to go to the 3 P's. And the first one is passion. It's really an overused word. And the way I'm using it here is the passion piece is really critical in that we're choosing something that we're going to invest an enormous amount of time over a length of time. So it needs to be an idea, a subject, a creative project that we can see through, that 2 weeks from now, 3 weeks from now, 4 weeks from now, we are still interested in. It still drives us. We still want to learn more about that thing. We still want to be engaged and invested in it. So that's where the passion comes in. Persistence comes in when we hit roadblocks. Mistakes happen. Little failures happen along the way. Or we get sidetracked by, a cold or some life emergency that comes up or some huge work project that might or could get in the way. Persistence is key to make it through all of these obstacles that life delivers to us. It delivers all of those obstacles to everyone. So the key to being someone who makes creative things and puts them out into the world is persistence, not giving up, and just muscling through. The third P is performance. So that is really about how we bring our energy to the task, how we perform those things that are in front of us, how we perform the project. Let me see if I can be a little more specific about that. So, making it a priority every day to look at it and say, okay, what can or cannot happen with this project today? How am I going to show up for this project? How am I going to perform for this project? And then that brings us to the 3 C's. And the first one, of course, is creativity. And I should point out that these are not linear. These are non-linear ideas, and they affect each of us uniquely. Creativity. How do you stay alive in those ideas and the juice and the feeding of the purpose of this project? And there are lots of different ways that creativity can be rejuvenated or replenished or, protected from, the thoughts in our mind that, oh, this isn't going to be any good, or we're just starting to feel a little bit burnt out and we just want to get it done. What are the personal practices that we can bring to the creativity to keep it going? The muse, keep the muse alive, keep the new inspiration coming in. That's critical, and for each of us it's going to be different. The second C is craft, and it may not be a term that you've heard in relation to, digital creative projects or different kinds of computer-based projects, but craft really applies to everything that we do, right? Craft can be applied to, the way we cook a meal, or the way that we, take care of our living environment. In this case, craft applied to our independent creative project is how are we bringing the tools and expertise to every artifact, to every aspect that we make. And that means really performing a high form of craft no matter what the aspect of the project is. So for an example, let's say I had come up with an idea for a mobile application that I wanted to prototype. Applying craft is making sure that the wireframes are as beautiful and as detailed and organized as they can possibly be. What is a high level of craft for shooting video? What is a high level of craft for creating user interface comprehensives? The word craft can really be applied to all that we do, and that means bringing a level of professional, careful, detailed practice to all aspects. And then finally, our final key here is completion, and that is never giving up, using all of these other keys, the persistence, the performance, the passion maintenance, the creativity maintenance, so that we can get to a state where it is done, it is complete. We have produced this magnificent thing, and now we are going to put it out to the world. So I want you to keep these in mind as you're working on your independent projects. Come back to this and say, okay, where am I weak right now? I'm not feeling the energy or the motivation or the desire. What can I do? What aspect of this can I approach and reconnect with? Maybe it's meaning. Maybe it's the persistence. What can I do to bring different things into my life to support the persistence or the performance or to support the creativity?